Hello everyone. I managed to record this entire thing while talking, but I forgot to actually turn on the recording of the mic. So I'm going to be speaking over this recording instead and uploading the recorded recording instead. So with that said, let's play. Right. At this point, I think I was mentioning something about having dug out the hole in the base that I was going to be digging in, building in, sorry, and also filled up the top layer of it with wood, since the wood can be dropped from the Drakkies, which gives basically unlimited wood anyways. So that was fair game as far as I was concerned. Yeah, I think I mentioned about continuing with the build that I had got started on before I remembered I was going to be recording. What was yeah, I think I was just quiet for a bit here. What was it? Maybe I was checking something? Is there anything I can think of while I was just standing there for a bit? Alright, bomb I must have been highlighting for when I was mentioning that instead of digging I had bombed out the bottom part. Still doable with the hammer, just a lot more slower. Yeah, I later realised that I hadn't quite done that corner correctly. Because, as you'll note at some point, the numbers of the corners don't add up. That was how I noticed. Yeah, at this point I'm deciding how big of a platform I want to start from, my stairs from. Because I'm planning to circle around this thing, this fountain, I guess? No, not fountain. Pool? Something like that. It's going to be circling around. And that fourth layer of blocks was for the wall. As you may have figured out, that's where the stairs are going to start. Here I was deciding where I want the workbench to sit long term. Yeah, given how deep the hole is, I just didn't want to think about how many stairs I needed, so I just went as many as possible. As a side note, none of this was planned. It was just on-the-go decisions. Deciding on the spot what felt right, what did not feel right. But the only thing that's semi-planned is what I started building on the underneath that platform later. Because I wanted to give that currently floating mountain chunk some sort of support, and I kind of like the idea of it being supported by a branch of a huge tree. I'm sure a few of you have already guessed what tree I'm on about. But for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, I'm going to leave that detail as something to find out later, since it would be a spoiler otherwise. Here I was realizing that the flagstone bridge didn't quite feel right because there's nothing to support the flagstone from just falling apart besides game logic. Here I realised I wanted to make use of something that's purpose-built for that sort of thing, and I just failed to remember it. Yep, the bridge. Literal bridge. And I forget about it when I was building to start with. I think here I was judging whether the bottom of that bell thing felt right or not. No, maybe I was judging where to start the stairs. Yeah, there's a temporary change because I'm trying to see where to start the stairs and end them. Yeah, there I was realising something didn't quite feel right. So I was judging how far to go down. Excuse me. And here you see the big ass hole that I built. Whoops, just realised that. I'm gonna have to edit that out if I want this to remain family friendly. This might have been where I noticed the no? Yeah, that extra bit of block spaces so that the NPCs can see the ground there and make their way down to it. Yeah, I must have noticed then. Yeah, I think I was deciding to make holes at that point. I didn't want NPCs dropping through those holes. So, hence the grating. Yeah, I think here's about where I realised that something was not quite right with the corner there. Though it took me a few more seconds or something to realise that it was too long a corner. Yeah, I think this is the point where I realised it was too long. Yeah, I think at this point I'd changed my mind about making holes over there just yet. I'm sure a few of you can already guess as to why. I'm delaying it. And I'm sure a few of you can also guess as to why I'm using flagstone specifically for that wall support, poolish, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to add a bridge to that other bridge later, so it can walk up some steps to the bridge instead of just running along the rim to get to it. Now you see me starting to work on the part that feels off to Reaver's wood. Given what's going to be up top later, I'd rather have either soil or branches down here. I end up eventually deciding on branches. Well, trunk of the thing. Not branches. But it does serve as a great way to naturally bring in that branch support that I want for the little mountain at the top. Little hill, something, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but it turned out my laptop had a built-in microphone, and it sounds a whole lot better than the headset microphone I got, so I'm just going to be using that from now on. I mean, it sure doesn't sound top quality like the long-term YouTubers have gotten to start using, but it'll do for the time being. At least until I start getting patrons, which I'll introduce the details of where to go for that later, once I've actually gotten some headway on the engine that the Patreon was originally made for in the first place. have the bottom tier of that Patreon be for all my YouTube side things. Just being a YouTube creator, I suppose. And the next tier up would be for focusing on the engine. Because I want Dragon Quest worlds to be moddable and to be runnable on any system. The only reason I can run it on Linux is just because of Proton. But I don't want Proton to be the way Dragon Quest Builders is run on Linux. I'd rather it be able to run a little more directly and get a bit more speed out of it. Well, efficiency, rather. Yeah, I want it to look like the enclosing walls are supporting the little platform at the top. So that's why I'm adding that in there. However, I don't plan on letting that top space go empty forever. I do plan on putting the fonts up there again. I do have an idea of how to protect them from those spores you saw at the first video. End up looking quite nice as a result. Better than just the field on its own. Weirdly enough. Yeah, I think here I realised that I was not quite far enough with the digging, because I couldn't see my holes at the holes of there. Yeah, at that point I was realising it felt a bit longer and thought that it was bigger than it should have been. And then later I realised why it was bigger than it was supposed to be, because it wasn't bigger than it was supposed to be. It's just that I hadn't yet dug out the part that that other section would have reached to be equal. to do something really silly. But also, I was quite lucky that it didn't go badly. Because I forgot about the edges there at the top. I think at this point I was talking about how I'm going to cheat in more of that bark, and for that I was going to go display to anyone that, for some strange reason, is both unfamiliar with Dragon Quest Builders 2 and hadn't seen the first vid in this series, where I happened to display where the bark gets dropped. So now I'm heading that way with a few pit stops on the way to collect some stuff and do a couple of puzzles and pick up the medal I forgot on the last one. Right, I went to check my food, which was cooking at this point, and I was boiling some chicken, and it was ready after all, and so I emptied out the pot and put the chicken in the air fryer to crisp it up. That's long applause than I intended. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was also skimming off the scum from the top, on top of the chicken before I emptied out the water. So I put them in the air fryer. find more of the ants on this island or not. Well, it hardly matters. Pretty sure the Drakis occasionally drop wheat seeds, I think. Even if they don't. I know there's at least the orcs that occasionally drop them, I think. Yeah, hit the wrong button there. I don't know if multi-console ever figured it out, but that was how you were supposed to solve that puzzle. Just slap a block in front. Oh yeah, I still didn't try out what I was planning to try out with the slice swing thing with the weapon attack, charged weapon attack. I was planning to hack in a hammer onto my weapon slot and see if just using it like that would still bring in the destruction of blocks like in the previous builders game. Though I'm not sure I ever thought to do that in the previous builders game. I can't remember. Well, yeah, here I saw them getting hurt by the thorns, so I decided I'd release them by getting rid of the thorns. Incidentally, those hands are the ones that drop the grass seeds as well, and were the intended target of the other quests related to the grass seeds. Yeah, this is another one multiple ones I've had an issue trying to figure out. I had the same issue. I ended up looking it up in a guide because I didn't notice that subtle difference between the two slimes. Here at this point I remembered about getting my favourite weapon. Poison needle. Its attack power is not that high, but its extra effect is useful for specific monsters and for just toughy ones that take a while to kill. So some of the orgs it'll work on, the ones that are marked as super strong monsters, I don't think it works on. Never actually tried. Or rather, never actually paid attention when doing so on them. As for that pause that was just there, it was because I think I heard a pop from my chicken or something, which was still in the air fryer at the time. So I went to check them. Yeah, I think here I remarked about going to grab the middle I forgot in the previous vid. Did the whole puzzle and then forgot to actually pick up the middle. This is where I show you get branches, bark from. And then I also decided to show a trick that some people might not be aware of. Then after showing that trick I proceeded to finish the job, because I don't like leaving half a tree. This might have been the point that I was talking about, that said trick. Oh no, I might have wanted to check the chicken again, because I had flipped it over and put it back in. And then later heard it pop again. So this might have been the point that I heard that pop again and went to take it out. Yeah, I think I was taking the chicken out of the air fryer completely at this point. I don't remember what this pause was about there. Yeah, I was realising at that point that I forgot about another key piece. The torch. Some of you will already realise what trick I'm on about. Yeah. Because you would have done the same thing during the... much easier to collect bark like this when you want to explore the house. This is where I decided to finish the job. So I just didn't like that whole half-destroyed tree floating in the air thing. And I was just looking for a spot to start the flames from. I think at this point I got annoyed with all the holes I was finding and just decided, nope, so this just gonna put in a few leaves instead. Platform. Yeah, at this point I forgot the button, even though it was right there in front of me. Yeah, here I was thinking maybe it wouldn't reach up high enough, so I decided to go up instead a bit before doing so. Yeah, I decided to attack it because I just want to see if it would be the one that drops the really rare item by the looks of it. Not the medicinal shop, but the other one. I was trying to see if it would drop the pumpkin, but obviously I'm gonna have to try again later. So I have to get it on recording if I'm to legitimately treat the pumpkins as infinite anyways. And just start adding in more seeds. I know where to get at least one set of pumpkin seeds, but that's a really random drop, and it also requires furthering the story to a point that I don't want to further it to just yet. I just thought I'd try. I didn't really expect it to work, but it was still worth a shot. And this one I just wanted the fireplace to register on my items list. Recipes list or something. Yeah, I figured I might as well complete the puzzle whilst I was in the vicinity. There's at least 3 different crops we've seen the seed drops for, so those can definitely be treated as unlimited. Here I'm going to show you exactly the technique for taking these guys down without taking a hit. Now granted, this guy is a little too weak for me to display that properly, but you get the picture. Go up, stack up blocks high enough that you can attack him from above. Does not work on the flying buggers though. Basically any ground-based enemy can have that trick applied to them. They're not all worth it. Sometimes you just feel like taking the long route. Now that I've done what I intended, I went on to start building what I intended to build here. I just hadn't quite decided how I was going to do it. So yeah, I noticed about the stamina bar a little later. So I'll resolve that at some point. In this vid, I mean, because it's just that my instance of Game Conqueror is still forcing the value to be 100, the original max value, and when the character's level goes up, pushes that max value up, then I have to change that value to match. Yeah, I think it was at this point I decided how big I want the trunk to actually be. Ended up deciding that I want the trunk to be big enough to fully support that platform that is currently on, that the ranger will be on. So big enough to create that ring at top. Yeah, at this point I was telling this guy to move. was at the point that I realised that I forgot to actually cheat in more of those blocks. Yeah, here was deciding how I want to start the branch. And ultimately decided to create the whole part first. I ultimately decided I wanted that branch to look like it had grown around a pre-existing enclosure. At this point I realised I forgot to do the bottom part of the trunk. It's at this point that the branch starts to look a bit interesting. Instead of the current block it is, or was. Okay. At this point I decided to plug up the water. It was starting to irritate me how I kept slowing down. And now I'm just trying to make the branch thick enough to feel realistic. Respect to the tree itself. Yeah, I think at this point no, not there. What was that about then? Oh right, I must have been eating my chicken. If you can hear that, that's the kettle. I've got hungry again, so I'm making myself some noodles. Which is also the crinkly noise you hear in the background. Finally noticed the stamina bar thing. That really took me a long time, didn't it? If some of you are still struggling to figure out how to pronounce my username, it's Zuigi. yeah, at this point I realised how long the episode had gone on for, so I saved and come off to end the recording. So, bye then.